Hi there and welcome to my channel. So glad to have you here and watching. My video today is a great and fun one, definitely. So I'm furthering along in my solo Beatles stuff and I'm up to George Harrison, Somewhere in England. This is George Harrison's 9th studio album that he recorded, and it was done on June 1981. George at this point sure was getting fed up with all of the politics and everything to do with the recording studios and system and all of that. George was really getting irritated, that's for sure. Warner Brothers was very displeased with this album of George Harrison's. They basically thought this was kind of a too mellow of an album, and they didn't like the front cover. Also, just to let you know, the album cover was shot in London at Taton Gallery. Yeah, that was cool. So here we go. I'm going to show you some very cool and some very rare stuff. So stay tuned. So to start off with, I'm showing you this very rare and kind of neat. This is a George Harrison American ad in one of the papers that was here in America, magazines actually. And basically this video is going to have you think outside the box to say, I didn't know that was available, or I didn't know you could get that. So this might help you find some more cool items for your collection as well. This copy is from Germany. Very nice, and I really like this cover. I think it's a great album by George Harrison. I remember buying this album when it came out originally, and I always felt as if George was kind of maybe the left out Beatle. But yeah, he put an album out and it just wouldn't sell that well. But I always thought this was a good album. Had a lot of great tracks and a lot of good songs on it as well. Here's the back of the cover and the song listings also, which had some very big hits, like I said. Some of the big hits off of this album was Teardrops, which I think is a great song. I really like that song. And Save the World, that even has a promo video to it, which is a good song. And you can't leave out this classic one, All Those Years Ago, which was written and done, but changed to be for John of the assassination of John Lennon. But we'll get more into that in a couple minutes. But those were three of the big hits, and there were a couple other big hits on this album, but those are the three that really stand out for me right now. Here's a picture of the inner sleeve with the words and the titles of the songs, which is kind of nice today. You really don't get a lot of that anymore. So very nice. And the other side with songs and lyrics again with George, but with acupuncture with George Harrison. Ow, that looks like that hurts. And this album is on George Harrison's own label, Dark Horse. And side 2 of this great album from Germany. This is my Canadian copy of All Those Years Ago, the 45. And the interesting thing about the Canadian copy is it's got a yellow border all around the jacket itself, which that's kind of neat. Other countries didn't do that, but yeah, so there's side A. And I like this song a lot too on the album. I didn't fail to mention this, but this is a great song too. But this is the B-side, Writing on the Wall, which I thought was a very good song. Here's my UK pressing of the exact same songs. But you know, I like that they put the spindle in the middle of the 45. You don't have to worry about trying to find those crazy spindles to go in the middle. This one's already in there. And like I said, this is my UK press. Also, you can see the variation is a little bit different on the back of the jacket, and the 45 itself is a little bit different as well. But very good collectible to have. And actually, these are kind of hard to get in America, the UK pressings. Good old UK pressings, they're the best. Love it. Next up is my CD copy of this album. American CD, by the way. All right, let's see a show of hands who still kept their elongated CD box from America. And mine is still in the shrink wrap also. So this is really kind of neat to have this. And in the shrink wrap. Very cool. These are actually very collectible now, these elongated boxes. You may say, Beetle Brad, why are these so collectible? It's just a box. Yeah, but you know, a lot of people threw these out, and lots of times you now find these solo Beetle boxes going, just the boxes by themselves, for anywhere from $25 to $35. It's amazing. Yeah, so keep an eye out for them if you want to complete your set and put them into your collection as well. This is an American pressing on vinyl, as you can tell. But the cool thing about this one is it's a promo copy, which hopefully you can see in the corner there. It's embossed. Can't even say the word. But there it is, promo copy. Nice one to have. Yep. The back is the same. I'm just going to go quickly on this because it's no different variations or anything like that. I like the fact that they have on the record itself, it says promotional copy, not for sale. A lot of albums, even though they're promos, they didn't have that written on there. And I was always leery when they weren't promotional copies. But it's nice to see that it's on this one right here. And here's the American 45 Teardrops. Yeah, lots of times in America we just had generic sleeves like this one says, Dark Horse Records. So this is the A side of the 45. And the B side of the 45, Save the World. Yeah, I know. I already showed you Teardrops, but this is the 45 once again of Teardrops. But this is a promotional copy. So this is not for sale, promo copy. And the flip side of it is Teardrops once again, but this one is in stereo where the other side of the 45 was in mono, Teardrops. Okay, and then this is kind of sentimental to me because this is my George Harrison copy that I bought in the record store when it came out. So this is my American pressing of Somewhere in England. And the back of it, which is pretty much the same like all the rest of them. Side 1 and the lyric sheet to go with it. Side 2 and George with that crazy acupuncture again. That does look painful, doesn't it? This is kind of a unique, but a very cool pressing. And as Doc Dacus and I like to say, no, not that saying at the end. This is from France. France, as we say, Doc. Yeah, my buddy Doc. He'll get the joke, and I know the rest of you won't. But anyway, this is kind of cool that this pressing is from France. France! And the B-side of this, which is really kind of neat, this is on the 45 of the back of it, which is the original front cover for the album, which was pulled and discontinued. This is my American 45 that I bought with the sleeve, which it was kind of an economical thing that you could buy the Dark Horse, just the sleeve itself, or you could buy it with picture sleeve, which was more expensive at that time. But this is the way it came back then, that you could have a choice of one or the other. Next up is this album, and you may say, Beetle Brad, what's this got to do with George Harrison and Somewhere in England? Well, these were outtakes and songs that didn't make the album, but should have made the album. Did you get that? It should have made the album, but it didn't make the album, but these were the songs that didn't make the album, but are actually very good songs, and I'm surprised they didn't, but you can only fill out an album with so many tracks, and then it ends up being a double album. That might be kind of cool if they make this a double album someday with all the different tracks. Yeah, it'd be a little longer, but kind of fun. This is actually a pretty rare album, Greenpeace, and this was several different artists, but as you can see, George Harrison appears on this album with Save the World, and this is still sealed copy. I'll just show you the back of this to show you the artists and kind of do this quickly on this one. Yeah, I'm still talking about George Harrison, but this album, You Can't Fight Lightning, Ringo's Star, was an album that was coming out at the time, and George did the song all those years ago for Ringo, was going to do it on this album himself. So Ringo actually started off doing this song, and George changed the words around at the last minute and changed some things around to keep it on his album when John Lennon got assassinated. So they changed it and he kept it, but it was supposed to be on this album. And the other album that Ringo ended up doing it on will be the next one. You Can't Fight Lightning was changed over to Stop and Smell the Roses for Ringo's Starr. Just thought I'd throw that in there because George was all a part of this. So here it is. This is the original cover of the George Harrison album. And this is actually quite a collectible now, this album cover and record. So it's kind of cool. Just an alternate, different picture that Warner Brothers didn't like, and the map of England also on the side there. Yeah, this video is getting a little bit long, so I'm putting these two together. This is the inner sleeve and the back of the jacket of the album. And here's the record label itself on the record. I know this one's just a little bit different on the variation, but I forgot which is different about it. So maybe you can tell and tell me down below what you think. And this is my CD version of the exact same album that I just showed you. And the back of it. Plus it's got Save the World on it as another track added to this CD. And the CD itself and the inside also to show you that. Plus there's some very nice photographs in here inside the booklet. George at the mixing board with Danny. A very young looking lad, Danny. Wow. Great picture of George. Like this one a lot. Wish it was in color though. Am I being picky or what? Always thought this was a neat picture. Really think it's cool. Kind of an alternate shot and getting ready for the front cover. But yeah, good picture. Well, I hope you made it to the end. This is my last record of this album. But this is actually very, very rare. And you may say, Beatle Brad, it looks like just all the rest of them. Yeah, but it is quite rare. Here's the back of it. It may give it away, but yeah, kind of almost looks the same as the other one of all the other albums. You may have already guessed it, like I said, but this is a very, very rare and expensive one from the Philippines. Yeah, a little bit different variation on it. And that's side A and side B. Or you could say 1 and 2 is actually what's on it, but I just said that to see if you're paying attention. But yeah, there it is from the Philippines, side 2. So if you get a chance, blow the dust off this album. And give it a listen. I think you'll really enjoy this album once again. It's a good one, that's for sure. I like it a lot. Somewhere in England by George Harrison. A fantastic album, definitely. I do like it a lot. But I thank you so very much for being here. Appreciate the new subscribers. Really do. Thumbs up to you guys. And my older subscribers, you guys are excellent. I appreciate each and every one of you. And you both are very important to Beatle Brad. And I appreciate you, like I said. And as I say on my channel, I'm out of here. Take care, everybody. See you on the next video.